So we went to hang out with my husband's parents, and they cooked us dinner on the grill and stuff like that, and I was really excited, and it was so delicious. But while I was eating, I became very nauseous, and I had to remove myself, and I threw up everything that I ate. That was my first time eating for that day, so I didn't really know what the cause of it was, but because I knew I was supposed to be on my period during that time and I threw up, I was like, you know what? Let's just grab a pregnancy test. So I told my husband when he met me in the bathroom, I was like, yeah, we need to get a pregnancy test tomorrow. I just recorded the follow-up video for the supplements that I've been taking. So it was February. I'm tripping. March just happened. I'm supposed to be on my period right now. Woo, I'm 3 days late. I don't have any symptoms of any pregnancy symptoms right now, so I really doubt that I'm currently pregnant. So basically, I've been taking them for about a month. I'm on my second bottle, but now that I have become pregnant, they instruct that once you find out that you're pregnant to just stop taking the supplements. So today was my last day taking them because earlier I had no idea. So basically, I was supposed to start my period last week, last Thursday or something like that, and it's Monday. And today is supposed to be my last day of my period, and it hasn't shown up yet. February, my period was 4 days late, but I had a full-on whole period, okay? So this month, just it not showing up at all so far is why I was like, well, let me go ahead and get a pregnancy test. So that's what we did today. And I figured I might as well give you guys this update because when I was talking in that follow-up video, I was very adamant, like, I'm not pregnant yet, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the very next day, your girl threw up. Also, I can say that I am feeling very constipated and gassy at the same time, which is pretty consistent with the last pregnancy that I had. And if you're unfamiliar with that, I did do a video about my miscarriage, so you can check that out in my on my channel. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So far, I have been slightly sensitive to some smells, but it's not to the point where I'm actually like throwing up or really nauseous because of it. So, but I do still have some cramping, like in my stomach, because it just feels like I'm like very gassy, but it won't come out. So that's the worst. So that's what the cramping is from. And I know that because when I finally do get a chance to burp or fart, I feel so much better and the cramps will subside in certain areas. So wherever most of the gas is like residing, that's where the cramps are the worst. But yeah, other than that though, that's just basically a follow-up to what you just saw, and I just want to try to keep this consistent because I told you guys I was taking you on my journey. So yeah, this is just a quick update. We will see what happened, right? Okay, hey guys, so we're still at 4 weeks and it's day 6, and we're gonna go to the grocery store, well, Walmart, and I just want to grab a few things for that, that I need in order to survive for this first trimester. You guys are gonna come along with me, or with us rather, to Walmart to grocery shop for this first trimester. Oh, and I need to replace this prenatal. This one is One A Day Women's by, I said by, we already know who it's by. It's One A Day Women's Prenatal 1. And this is for before, during, and after pregnancy. And this one has folic acid, DHA, and iron. And it's just one pill. Listen, I can't be doing more than one. And this is the trial size that I got last year from the doctor when I was pregnant. And I just never used it because I had a miscarriage. So now I'm using it, but I need to replace it. I have one more trial pack left in my bathroom, but I need to, oh gosh, sorry y'all. Okay, bam. I need to replace it so I can have enough to get me through the entire pregnancy, obviously. Well, anyway, y'all know how this works. But remember, I also told y'all that I am somebody that experiences constipation and gas during my pregnancy. I experienced it last time, and I've been experiencing it this time. But ever since I found out that I was pregnant, I've been back on Citracel, and you're supposed to take 2 of these a day. And the thing about prenatals is that, especially the ones with iron in it, it can sometimes make you feel constipated and backed up. And it's like, I already feel like that, I don't need no help. Well, because of that, I've been taking this twice, well, not twice, but I've been taking 2 of these a day, and then I've been taking this all around the same, like at the same time I take it. And I have to be honest, I feel like it does help. I don't feel nearly as constipated as I have. I'm able to fart, which is something that I was not able to do last time. Last time I felt backed up and I felt gassy, but I couldn't burp, I couldn't fart, I couldn't take a number 2, I couldn't throw up, like nothing was, there was no relief. This time, I'm not experiencing that, and I honestly feel like it's because of this, because this, you know, Citracel, it actually is a fiber supplement, basically. So putting fiber into my system on a regular basis, I think has helped me with being able to feel somewhat normal. So being pregnant during the coronavirus is going to be interesting, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, I gotta be careful, but we're about to go in this Walmart and hopefully there's some supplies still left. Not just like stuff that we need on a regular, but you know, stuff I need. And then just, you know, stuff. It's a little nippy out here. That's me right now. Okay, let's start off in the fruit. I was gonna start with the dagnabbit salads, but they're stocking over there, so I'll wait a bit. Alright, let's get some cuties. I wanna see over. Make sure I'm getting me a good bag. Ooh, I think I like this one. Yeah. These little teeny ones. This is perfect for me because I don't feel like I'm gonna finish all of the fruit before it goes bad. So that's why I kind of want to like get smaller portions.
I've been killing the cars, but I don't need that.
Okay. Here's some Activia. Maybe I'll pull with that. What's that?
It's a powerful smoothie, Greek yogurt smoothie, strawberry banana.
Okay. Speaking of strawberry banana, I think I'm okay. I think I'm gonna go with this.
You need ginger ale?
I do. With real ginger.
I could resume pushing duties tonight.
What was that?
I could resume pushing duties.
Oh.
without looking, and she's grabbing everything. I'm hungry. I'm finishing, and she's not like pregnant. Yeah, okay.
I'm absolutely pregnant, okay? Okay, so, oh, they do have, okay. So it looks like they have the prenatals that I need. When I went online, they said they didn't have it. And this is the 60-day value pack, so yeah. That's what we're gonna go with. 60 days. Oh yeah, see, no, I can't, See, this is the other one that they have. But you see, it's actually 2 pills. I can't do 2 pills, I need 1. I struggle enough with the 1. And it looks like they have an equate version of it as well. That's significantly less. So, we're my budget conscious queens. We got you. Okay, rapid release, y'all. Okay, so we're back now. And it's funny because while I was out, I started feeling kind of icky. So I'm still feeling kind of icky. I think I'm gonna just drink some water and I'm gonna unbag these things and we're gonna review the stuff that I got. So we have Seagram's ginger ale and it's made with real ginger. Ginger ale is one of the things that they suggest you get to help calm your stomach when you're feeling icky or nauseous. I'm not gonna do ginger ale today, I'm gonna just do some water. I'm saving it for when I might actually really need it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, make sure whatever ginger ale you get, it says made with real ginger. I didn't realize that not all ginger ales are made with real ginger. Who knew? But that's gonna be the one that'll help. Now, ginger ale can get kind of boring for me. I do have some juice in there already. I forgot to get orange juice. Dagnabbit. Next time I'm gonna get orange juice. But right now I have orange soda, so for those times when I want that soda, when I want a soda, but I want flavor, and I'm over ginger ale, I got orange soda because there is no caffeine in this, so that's the good thing there. So I got my prenatal, the ones that I talked about earlier, and then of course just some Tylenol, because these headaches, y'all, like, yeah, they said that it's gonna be headaches, you're gonna have headaches or whatever, but they're just so random. And sometimes they're like unbearable, and sometimes it's like I can work through it. But then it's like once I calm down, the headache comes back. And I was running out of Tylenol, so I got me some more. Okay. Next is, it's jacked up. I didn't realize that. I picked up a messed up container or packaging. Anyway, Activia, and the flavor I got is 6 strawberries and 6 strawberry bananas. This has live and active probiotics, and I did read that it's okay to use Activia, and I do need probiotics, as I mentioned earlier, because of the constipation and all that, so I just want help just with natural movement, you know what I'm saying? Got some granola, honey, and then I got this, I got some Fairlife milk, whole milk. It says lactose free. Let's see, let me make sure some vitamin D. Yeah, we got vitamin D, we got calcium. Those are all things I need. And yeah, 50% less sugar than regular milk. I don't know, I just know this milk lasts a long time, which I would need help with. Cheese, another vitamin D source. Not really, this doesn't have a lot, but it's got calcium. So, another calcium source. Now, I got some white chocolate mocha creamer. They say that you can have like 2 small cups of coffee a day. I probably won't have 2 a day, but just knowing that I have flexibility to be able to have coffee, I needed some creamer. Okay, and then I got my salads, my pre-made salads. I got the BLT salad with chicken and avocado dressing. This is also a Walmart salad. Well, I mean, it says Taylor Farm, but got it from Walmart. And then, of course, your standard Caesar salad with chicken and bacon. So, yeah. So that's for when I'm in between and I need something to eat. Anyway, for the fruit department, we got cuties, more vitamin C. And that's really good for when I'm like feeling like I want something, but I don't know what I want. But I just want to eat something. Like at nighttime, oh my gosh, I get really snacky. But I don't want to keep eating ice cream, or I don't necessarily feel like I want any cakes or anything. So I'm just like, I just want something. And cuties, they're super light, easy for me to eat because it's just, cute little teeny things. I guess that's why they're called cuties. And then I got these cute little bananas, like perfect size for me.
All right. Hey guys, this is my 5 week and 1 day check-in. So I'm 1 day into my 5th week. According to my pregnancy app, my baby is super tiny and is as big as an orange seed. And we got 35 weeks to go. So there's that. So I just wanted to kind of come back here, check in really quick, and discuss symptoms and just kind of give you an idea of where I'm at. So far, still haven't really experienced much nausea per se, and definitely haven't vomited since the very first time I vomited, which was before I even knew I was pregnant. And while we were out and about shopping the other day, when we went to Walmart, when we were getting kind of closer to the end of the trip, I can say I did feel a bit nauseous, but that most likely was because I didn't eat that much before leaving, which also is a thing that can trigger nausea during pregnancy. If you don't eat, your blood sugar levels can drop, or you know what I mean. So that can cause you to be nauseous and want to vomit. But when I got home and I ate, I felt a whole lot better. Um, Also, I told you guys that I was experiencing um, constipation and gas, and that actually has subsided tremendously. I have been taking the prenatal. Also, I followed that up with 2 Citracel tablets, and that is just the supplement to introduce fiber into your system, which that wouldn't hurt. But because there's so much, well, not so much, but because there's iron in my prenatal, I know that some women have reported that their prenatals could sometimes make their stomach hurt or cause constipation. And since I was already experiencing that, I was like, I don't need no more help with the constipation. I don't need to be more severe. So that's why I've been taking the Citracel, and it's recommended that you take 2 of those a day. Honestly, I feel like it has really helped because I can actually pass gas this pregnancy, and I have actually been able to go number 2. I mean, it hasn't been super fulfilling, but way more than last year when I was pregnant. I couldn't go at all, and that was really miserable because I would have the urge, but it just nothing would come out, and it wouldn't come out in my mouth. It wouldn't come out in my bottom in any form, whether it was burping, vomiting, farting, or number 2 movement. Like nothing was coming out, and that is completely different than what I'm experiencing now, especially here in week 5, in comparison to my previous pregnancy in week 5. I was pretty I was very constipated. That's when like a lot of the pain started. Also, during week 4 and week 5, last pregnancy, my breasts were tender, but I'm not experiencing any soreness in my breast at all. So that's kind of weird. Um, so the lack of some of these symptoms is kind of scaring me. But another symptom that I guess is a symptom, of course, the bloating. I do feel bloated, and it gets worse when I eat. But when I haven't eaten, I feel fine. Um, and headaches. But yeah, so far the boobs aren't really feeling any different. They don't look any different. They don't look bigger. Um, they're not sore at all. No real nausea to report. And fatigue, meh, it's not really. I'm not really experiencing fatigue. I did want to mention this. So currently, we are in the process of switching my insurance over. Um, Last year, when I was pregnant, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but just in case, I'm going to explain this. Last year, when I was pregnant, John and I were not married yet, but we were engaged and living together. And at the time, I didn't have a job, so he was the only person with the income coming into the household. And so, with that being the case, I was able to be on what is called IEHP here in California. And that program is really beneficial to someone that's in my position or someone who comes from a low income background. It's very helpful because once I became pregnant, pretty much everything was taken care of. So we never had a copay. We never had to pay for any lab visits or anything. And I had a lot of lab visits. And that insurance takes care of mom and baby from, prenatal all the way to post. And the post pregnancy could be either after you have the baby or if you have a miscarriage, they still take care of you because there's things that you have to do. Like, for example, for myself, even after it was confirmed that I was experiencing a miscarriage last year, I had to go to LabCorp once a week to get my blood taken, and my insurance took care of the cost of those visits. However, now that we're married and we filed joint on our taxes, I now am like we're like one household now with two people, so we no longer, well, should I say, I no longer qualify for IEHP because John makes too much. So I have until the end of March to get that solidified, but we're gonna do that this week because since this is my fifth week, this is the ideal time to call or find your doctor. In your fourth and fifth week is a good time to start looking for a doctor if you don't have one that you are comfortable with or that you know. That's an ideal time to start looking for doctors so you can compare, contrast, read reviews, find out if that's, the option you want, find out where they deliver, like what hospital is that close in proximity to you. Those are the things that you want to do in week 4 and 5 is try to determine who you want as your doctor. Um, by week 5, you definitely should be calling to see if, especially if you'll be a new patient, you should be calling to see if they're going to accept you. Like if they're taking new patients right now, that's something you need to know. If they're taking your insurance, those are all things you need to know. So doing that research as early as possible will help you because between the weeks of 6 weeks and 8 weeks is when you need to go ahead and do your first prenatal visit with your doctor's office. But yeah, so that's what's going on right now. So this week we are going to figure out which insurance, whether I'm going to get it on my own or fall, whether I'm going to get it on my own or fall under John's, and then I'm going to set up my appointment. Okay, so today is 5 weeks and 3 days. I am checking in. I just wanted to update you guys with what I've been experiencing lately. Last night I had experienced some really bad cramping. At the time, I was pretty bloated, um, and I did have a cup of coffee, one of the K pods, and I already looked it up. It's 130 mg's of caffeine, so that's underneath the 200 that pregnant women are allotted on a daily basis. So I had that, but I did have it on an empty stomach, and I forgot how terrible coffee is on an empty stomach. So that really hurt me. Like, that hurt my stomach pretty bad, and it made me feel like, OMG, I think I have to go number two. So I tried number two. Some things came out, but I was still in pain, so I laid down, and I pretty much was out for a majority of the night after that. I did eventually end up eating a lot later on. I just had chicken noodle soup, the Campbell's, chicken noodle soup and some crackers and some peanut butter. And then, like, I had um, some more yogurt and stuff like that. So I was able to eat after a while. And again, I attribute that to the citrus cell and the Activia that I've been eating and the supplement I've been taking. Because honestly, the reason why I was able to get up and actually eat was because I started, like, I had a gas, so I was able to pass it through, and that helped a lot. So that made my stomach pain go away. So obviously, I thought it was just, you know, constipation, gas, cramping. So nothing to be alarmed about before going to bed or whatever. And then when I woke up today, I did feel a gush of something come out of me, and I'm like, whoa, no way, this can't be what I think it's gonna be. And it absolutely was. I went to the bathroom and I had a gush of blood come out. So um, now at this particular moment, I am wearing a pad because it's that much. It's basically, it reminds me of my period right now. So that's really not a good sign. And I feel like last time, this was probably around the time that I experienced bleeding, heavy bleeding, like I'm experiencing now. So far, like when I use the bathroom, there's visible blood in the water, and it is coming out of me. So it's not like a spotting type of situation. And then when I wipe, the tissue looks how it normally looks when I'm on my period. So I am very concerned. It is highly possible that I am currently now miscarrying again, which is why I really wasn't hoping to be pregnant so soon, because I really wanted those supplements to really get in and work with my system. Because, like I said, I only was taking them for a month. It was really before the supplements got a chance to get into my system. Because I didn't start taking it until February. So I don't really think that it got a chance to get in there and do what it said it's supposed to do before I actually conceived. So that's why I was a bit concerned. This seems pretty consistent with my previous pregnancy from last year. So I can say that this time is not nearly as painful as it was the last time. Or at least I can say that for right now, like on this day. This is the first day I started bleeding. So um, yeah, it doesn't feel nearly as bad. I don't feel nauseous or anything like I did last time. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that could be the cause of the blood. I, for one, am leaning more towards. I, for one, am leaning more so. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna try it again. I, for one, am leaning more so towards miscarriage, just because it seems pretty consistent with the timing of the last pregnancy. In the meantime, in between time, I will um, still make my appointment, because you're supposed to have your first prenatal appointment between 6 and 8 weeks. So we just found out today, we got an email that I was able to get on my husband's insurance, so I won't have a lapse. So that's great, even though my state insurance will be over at the end of this month, which is March. We're good to go. So now the only thing left to do is to go ahead and make that appointment. And it's really important to do that because we have to find out what is going on up in here. And I can't figure that out with just Google, you know what I'm saying, and my own guesses. So we will continue to not drink, not smoke, just continue to do the things we've been doing, eating the right items that we're supposed to be eating, and just make that appointment and fingers crossed, we'll find out what's up. I don't know, it's really tiny right now. Hopefully it's still in there. I haven't passed any clots though, I can say that. However, I have seen some tissue, like, internal tissue come out, that was kind of floating in the toilet, but no clots. I didn't feel any and I didn't see any. And even when I have my normal period, I'm a clotter. Like, that's just normal for me anyway. So, yeah, so we're just gonna monitor and see what's up. And hey, welcome back. So today is 5 weeks and 4 days. I just wanted to follow up with you guys. So today I called the doctor's office and made an appointment, for, just the normal prenatal stuff that you're supposed to do, but I made sure I alerted them of what's going on with me with the bleeding. So they ordered me to get my labs done tomorrow, which is my first, like, well, I don't know if they're gonna take all of the blood. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll be able to take you guys with me. They always do what they call a quad test, I believe. Don't quote me, y'all. I'm still trying to get the lingo down. But they do that anyway. But because I informed them of my bleeding and how severe it is, they not only do I have to do the quad test tomorrow, but I'll also will have to do it 2 days later, and that way they can get a comparison to see what my HCG levels are doing, so they can determine if they are declining. And if they're declining, that's usually a indication that I'm miscarrying. And then my very first appointment for this particular pregnancy is going to be on Monday. So, and then that following Monday, I will need to do my first ultrasound. That's why it's important that no matter what, even if you are bleeding and it's very severe, that you still need to go to your doctor. So I would absolutely recommend that, because that's the only way you're going to know what's really going on inside of your body. Um, of course, I've heard what I'm calling right now those urban legends of women that have had severe period, severe bleeding that was like a menstrual period, and still was able to go on and continue in their pregnancy and have a healthy baby. But I mean, with the fact that this is what the bleeding that I'm experiencing right now, the amount of bleeding that I'm experiencing right now is not only similar to my normal periods, but it's absolutely similar to the miscarriage that I had last year. So I just don't see it in the cards. Like I told my mom, it's beyond me now. And speaking of that, originally we hadn't told anyone. Today was my first time telling my mom. I did experience some cramping last night, while I was doing my hair. It got worse and worse as the night progressed and transitioned into morning. It wasn't unbearable, and it wasn't like I couldn't walk or anything. Like, I was fine. It was just that nagging, annoying cramping that you feel during your period. And those are usually some telltale signs of miscarriage, the cramping in your lower abdomen and lower back, and of course, heavy bleeding. So I will say, whether I am able to continue along in this pregnancy or not, I am going to continue to do the 2 Citrusel a day and 2 Activia yogurts a day, because I clearly just need that just for me to live. Because I have not been one of those people that even before pregnancy that goes on a regular. So, but as of right now, yeah, we still are going to operate as if we are pregnant. And like I said, that means still no drinking, no smoking, and that means eating the things you're supposed to eat, eating my granolas and my yogurts, and getting my vitamin C and my vitamin D in. But yeah, that's where we are. And now I'm about to just take a shower and chill out with the hubs and watch some Netflix or something. Okay. All right. Checking back in. It is the following day. Today is 5 weeks and 5 days. I went and got my blood work done. This was different than my last time that I went, because last year when I was pregnant, I went in as a pregnant woman, not as a woman that might be miscarrying. So they took all my blood for all the necessary tests that they have to do, but that was the last time. This time I was doing what is called a quad test only, so they only took blood for that specific reasoning. And that's because we are under the suspicion that I am miscarrying. Um, it was pretty quick. My LabCorp around here is usually really quick. When I went in, I was the only one there, so I got in, got out, and then I have to go back again on Saturday. As far as an update on what I am experiencing, um, as far as the bleeding, still there. It's still pretty consistent. I will say as much it's not as much blood as the very first day. The second day, which was yesterday, was a lot. And between yesterday and today, I have been passing some clots, so that's an issue as well. Um, but other than that, yeah, that's why I pretty much think it's pretty much, um, a miscarriage. I am happy that the bleeding is starting to slow down, though. That's thank goodness there. So hopefully between today and tomorrow, there'll be my last day's bleeding because that would be just great. Oh, as far as the cramping is concerned, like right now, I'm good to go. I want to share this journey with you guys and just, let you kind of, hopefully, it's somewhat educating, but really the whole point is just for you to see what it's like, what the process is like beyond just, oh, I had a miscarriage, or oh, I'm pregnant. Boop, here's baby. Oh, I'm pregnant. Boop, had a miscarriage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to give you guys some like footage, some insider information of what the experience is like, because it's beyond just okay, I'm pregnant. Okay, I started bleeding. I must be miscarrying. That's it. No, it's more to it than that, and I can't stress this enough. It is very important to see your doctors. It's very important to follow up and do all the due diligence to make sure that you remain healthy and to make sure that you can, if getting pregnant again is something that you want to do. You want to make sure you can monitor the situation and be able to determine that it's safe and okay for you to do that. So it's just really important to take care of yourself. It's really important to make sure you're doing things the right way. So, hey guys, welcome back. This is just a follow up to the last thing we just saw, which was my first visit to LabCorp to get my blood taken. So now this is Saturday. I got my blood taken today. It is March 21st, I believe. Yep, yep, Saturday, March 21st. And I went earlier this morning down to Palm Springs to get my blood taken. And I mean, that was in and out like always. Let's see, nothing. You don't learn anything from LabCorp directly. They send all your lab results to your doctor, and your doctor's office will call you with the information. I can say that my bleeding has slowed down drastically to the point where I probably could just switch over to panty liners at this point because I'm basically just spotting now. I'm pretty sure today is probably the last day. At some point today it'll stop. 2 more weeks to find out what's really good, what's really going on inside of here. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys on Monday, obviously. I won't be able to take you in there. They're kind of being strict about the amount of people that are allowed to come and all of that. So I don't even want to add cameras into the mix because everybody's being very cautious. And so yeah. Hey guys, so it is Monday, March 23rd. My first prenatal appointment is today. So I should be finding out the results of my blood test that I took last week and over the weekend today. And of course, just getting all of the preliminary information that you get on your first prenatal visit. At this office, we meet with the nurse first. So that's the first visit is with the nurse. When I get there, I'm going to probably have to fill out some paperwork and then take a pee test. I took a home pregnancy test yesterday morning, Sunday morning, and it was positive, of course. So we shall see what my levels are talking about today. Right now, I'm just prepping my little food or whatever. My Activia yogurt, and I have half a peanut butter sandwich. So I just have to take my little granola, add it into here. This gets kind of messy sometimes. Oh, see. But yeah, this is normally what I eat when I first wake up, no matter what time I wake up. If it's the afternoon or the morning, this is what I'm eating. Yogurt with granola and some almonds. Usually a whole peanut butter sandwich and a fruit. And I usually do that with water, but today I'm going to do some ginger tea to go. So for this tea, what we're going to need is, I cheat and I use just the real lemon juice because I suck at like juicing lemons. So I go with this. You're going to need honey, and then you're going to need ginger root. And you see that it's just a big old thing of ginger root from the earth, okay? And I'm using filtered water, well, bottled water, just because this is the bottled water I would normally drink anyways. I like to take my Zapoli electric kettle. I got this on Amazon. I freaking love this thing. And it honestly takes like 3 minutes or less to get this nice and hot. So we're going to go to that first line. So 0.5 is where we'll stop. And as you can see, just under that last line. So that's about 2 cups. And we're going to close that mamma jamma. I try to point it away from being underneath here because the steam is going to come out right here. But the lever is back here. So we press that, and I'll show you. The light comes on down here. That indicates that the kettle is on. Okay? So anyway, we're going to point this way so the steam can go away from the cabinet. And this, I'm going to just go ahead and chug it. Take the skin off the ginger and then chop it. Okay, so I'm going to cut it. So now I tossed it in here. So I have my lemon in here already. So now we're going to do the honey. As you can see, this is already started boiling. So now that that's done, this is so annoying. I'm going to pour this in there. It's piping hot. And we're going to head on out. You know what I just realized? I just realized that John left his water in here. So I'll use his water. Because I told you, I like to take my prenatal and my Citracel in between the yogurt and the sandwich. So I already ate my yogurt, so I'm going to just go ahead and use his water. Okay. I suck at taking pills. Oh my gosh. Anybody else? I have such a hard time doing this. Like, I have to throw my head back and everything. Like, I be needing all the help. Mm. This one has peanut butter on it. Trying not to leave no evidence. I drank a lot of water. I don't want no lipstick on there. He's not gonna notice. Maybe. Okay, now I can eat my sandwich. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did he buy something? What in the world did my husband buy? Yep, he bought something. What is that? Did he buy tissue?
Not the kind we normally use, but now we're really good.
That was huge.
24 pack.
I can't believe they still had some in there.
Yeah. Few. I saw some woman walking out with some. I was like, oh. Let me go look at it real quick.
Well, that worked out.
We have TP for our buckles.
Oh my gosh. We are back from the appointment. Like I said, I couldn't take you in there with me, so I'll just share some of the things that I got from the first appointment. One thing I can say, I'm just tell you right now, no need to hold up this information. For whatever reason, my lab results from Saturday weren't ready. They got the first lab results from Thursday, but that's just considered a baseline, so that doesn't tell them anything. They won't know which way my numbers are going until they get the results of the second one. So they said that they will call me and they can tell me that information over the phone, which works out because I wouldn't want to have to go all the way back to Palm Springs just to get the results. They're just basically waiting on the results from LabCorp. All right. So I went ahead with the appointment and just did the preliminary things that I told you that we typically discuss during your first visit, and they gave me a welcome pamphlet. So, welcome to prenatal care. Let's see. Also, I got a list of medications that are safe to take during pregnancy. So, the categories that they have is cold and congestion, headache, heartburn and stomach remedies, constipation, hemorrhoids, diarrhea that's lasting longer than 24 hours. That's very specific. And then then a list for nausea and vomiting. Um, that'll be a different video that we can like really dive into this list. And then they gave me this um, list here, or more so like a little guide that tells you, it kind of just suggests what types of things you should be eating during your pregnancy. This just tells you, like, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. So this just tells you stuff like, to take your prenatals, don't drink, don't smoke, no drug use. It tells you to limit your coffee intake, or caffeine rather intake, so that goes for coffee, soda, and energy drinks. So it's not like you can't have them at all, but you want to be very minimal as much as possible. And Nurse Christine was explaining to me that caffeine dehydrates the body, and they need us pregnant women to be. You okay? Oh, okay. I didn't even know you went to the back. They need us pregnant women to be hydrated as much as possible. So that's why, they typically say no caffeine. But you can partake in some caffeine, just some though, okay? This here is all the different screenings that my doctor's office does. So these tests aren't required, but they help you to determine Down syndrome, spina bifida, and things like that. And then, of course, the sex of the baby. But that particular test also checks for a certain type of Down syndrome as well. So I'm not going to go through the names of these things. This is stuff that your doctor's office would go through with you specifically. But These tests that are, like I said, highlighted, they are, can you see that? There we go. They aren't mandatory, but if you want to do them, you can. And just based on your insurance coverage, that will help you determine if you can do them. Because if not, it does have a out of pocket. If not, it does have an out of pocket cost. So that'll be completely up to you. And then I have this pamphlet here. I do know that in this pamphlet specifically, um, there is information on the benefits of cord blood and why you would want to, what the benefits are of keeping it, or if you want to donate it. And then there's information in here about all the different prenatal tests and things of that nature. So there's more information in this pamphlet about some of the tests that are on this sheet as well. All right, last but not least, I have my LabCorp sheet. Now, this is the sheet that you would normally take to LabCorp to get your first, get your blood taken for all of everything, so that they do a complete, STD screening panel. So that means they screen for HIV, any other STDs. They do a drug test with that blood. They do another test to determine your iron levels, and so that's the day that you would go to the lab to. Let's try that again. So that's the day that you would go to the lab, and they would take like 5 or 6 tubes. Actually, I think it's more than that, but tubes of blood from you, so that they can perform all those different tests. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. So that's what I got. I had the opportunity to talk to the nurse and kind of got the first preliminary stuff out the way, so that next Monday we can do the ultrasound and really see where things are. By then, we should have heard back from the doctor's office, and yeah, so that's it. That's all we did today. And now I'm going to, since I'm home, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a banana.
I got a call. Hello?
Hi, Miss.
Speaking.
This is Christina with Advanced Women's Healthcare. I was actually on the other line with LabCorp right now.
Oh.
So I'm still waiting on them to send them. I spoke with them yesterday when I spoke with you, and they were supposed to fax that over. They're saying that the stat lab for some reason hasn't resulted the test. So I spoke with Robin yesterday. I spoke with Jane this morning. I'm waiting on them to send that over because then the system is still showing as in process. Okay, so I haven't forgot about you. I'm waiting on the lab to send that over to me.
All right, cool. I was just making sure.
Okay. I know. I don't know what's going on. Even with, I know they have all this like COVID-19 things going on, but like everything has been so delayed. And I'm like, this is on Saturday. And they're like, I know, we're trying to figure it out too. And I'm like, okay, we'll just send it. People are worried. So yeah, I'm waiting on them. As soon as that comes in, I'll give you a call. Of course, if you have any concerns at all, make sure you do call and speak with our triage nurse.
All right, what's up, y'all? So today is Friday, March 27th, which makes 6 weeks and 6 days for me. And it is 10:45 a.m. on the West Coast. The office opened up at 8 a.m. I haven't received a call still. And my appointment is on Monday. So I'm pretty sure that, if I don't hear back from them, obviously by 2:30, I'm not going to get my results from my quant test, which is annoying. But luckily, I'll at least have my ultrasound on Monday to help me determine really what's going on. And based on that, they're probably going to order another quant test to check my levels again. Luckily, it'll be the beginning of the week, so I can get the test done here instead of in Palm Springs, which is, they're backlogged. They're jacked up because it really doesn't make any sense that I haven't gotten my results from a test that I took on Saturday. And ordinarily, it only takes 4 hours for them to get results from your test. But here we are, still waiting. So I don't know. I still am in limbo. I am gaining weight. Well, it's kind of fluctuating. My belly is bloated, so I really don't count that as pregnancy belly. So I'm not using that as a sign of anything because I'm bloated. So that is what it is. The stomach always looks bigger when you're bloated. What can you do? So anyway, if they call me, obviously, I will try to catch it on camera. But I'm not feeling optimistic that I'm going to get a phone call today either. So at this point, I just got to wait till Monday.